Hello, my name is Amanda Dunas and I'm from the Positive Thinking Clinic. There comes times in people's lives where they make the decision that they need to lose weight. And I help individuals to lose weight by changing diet, changing mindset, helping them change lifestyle and so on. And I run a number of programs at the clinic according to what I feel is the best suited for each individual. One of my practices involves Hypnoband. So this video is about teaching you what Hypnoband actually is and how I use it. Now, I am a Hypnoband licensed practitioner. The author of the course that I did is John McLean from New Wave Hypnotherapy. So I'm actually going to tell you about what I was trained in, the detailed instructions that you need to know so that you can make the decision to see if Hypnoband is right for you. Or you just may be interested to see what is Hypnoband and how does one use it in a clinical setting. So, like I said, it's just one technique that even as a hypnotherapist we can use. Not every hypnotherapist is licensed to practice the Hypnoband technique. Sometimes hypnotic sessions are an opportunity or another option to help individuals lose weight or make changes in their lives. So some techniques are useful and sometimes they prove to offer some small weight loss over a period of time or a larger result. But the big problem has always been to help those clients who desire to lose large amounts of weight and keep it off. As hypnotherapists, we know that unless a client is truly committed to changing eating behaviors, they're unlikely to achieve their goals. And so New Wave Hypnotherapy felt that hypnotherapy needed to break new ground in the weight loss area. The principle of hypnotic gastric band surgery is not new and indeed has been in use for some time. At New Wave, they felt that an integrated system utilizing current weight loss or weight loss theory and a different approach to virtual gastric band surgery was required. After extensive research and subsequent trials with clients, they believe that they have developed an easily used, simple system which practitioners can follow in order to maximize client results. Now, at this point, I'd like to say, and I'm telling you as closely as possible as what's been given to me under the license, because under the license, we have to work pretty much exactly to the model. But just so that you know, I have, over the recent years, had a number of Hypnoband clients. And I've watched these individuals make really good transitions, losing lots of weight, changing their eating habits, their mindset, their lifestyle. Now, I'm not here to say that only Hypnoband is the way to go. It's not. There's many other ways to do this. I'm actually only doing this video because so many people who do come into the clinic say, what is Hypnoband? Now, I'd rather make a video that takes 10, 15, 20 minutes so that you know what it is, what's involved, and how I use it in my clinical setting. Now, being overweight, there's so many reasons why people are overweight. There could be physiological reasons, or I'd like to think that most of the reasons is because of overeating accompanied with lack of exercise. Most non-physiological reasons for overeating are emotional and psychological. Some people eat to alleviate stress and some to find comfort or love. Many people, when questioned, say they eat to combat boredom. Whatever the client's reasons for overeating, it is a simple fact that if they eat less and less often, they would lose weight. And so with the Hypno-Band system, we give the client tools to change eating habits and live a healthier and happier lifestyle. In order to do this, it's not enough to treat the symptoms. It is necessary to find the root cause for the client's excessive eating habits and to deal with them. To this end, we have gastric Hypno-Band, the weight loss system itself, has created a technique with a hypnotic gastric band procedures to create the Hypno-Band Weight Loss System. So everything that I'm saying is not created by me. It is because I am following the technique suggested by John McLean from New Wave Hypnotherapy. So let's move on. I'm trying to be as specific according to the model as possible. So what is the Hypno-Band system? It's a hypnotherapy system designed to enable weight loss in the clinically obese, specifically those with a high body mass index. So of course, if somebody comes in and they want to lose 2 to 3 kilos, I wouldn't be suggesting that this is the right system for them, and I would definitely not be doing it. It is for the obese people. There are many other ways to try and lose weight, and this is not the way that I would be trying. Quite often, people come in saying, I've tried this diet and I've tried that and I've tried this and I've tried that, and now I want to try Hypno-Band. We don't just say, yeah, sure, let's give that a go. There is a procedure, a consultation, a series of questions to make sure that it actually is the right method and system for each individual. So as I said, it's for the obese range of individuals when rated against their BMI, body mass index. They need to be 30 or more on this index. The system has been successfully used with clients who have a lower BMI, for example, less than 30 but over 25. And this is at the discretion of the practitioner, which means that would be at my discretion. The Hypno-Band can be used with clients of ages 18 years and upwards. It's not recommended for anybody under 18, as children tend to have different sets of emotional issues relating to food and overeating. This means anybody under 18 who comes in wanting Hypno-Band, I would have to say no. Now let's look at how it works. The Hypno-Band is a combination of suggestion, visualization, and cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, which combined help the client to make behavioral changes that make sustained weight loss possible. By using the virtual gastric band, we conceive the client that they have undergone gastric band surgery, thereby enabling them to eat smaller portions and have their hunger satisfied earlier. The gastric band, part of the process, is a mechanism that helps the client believe that their stomach is smaller with less capacity for food. And I'm here to actually tell you that I witnessed this myself, given just about almost every single client's feedback that they feel, even from the very first session where the visualization for the surgery has not happened, but we're doing visualizations imagining that their stomach is getting smaller. This has been very effective, not from my observation, but from just about every single client's feedback. And that's how confident I feel. I always ask for feedback. So what are the steps involved? I hope you are curious. The Hypno-Band system is used over a series of client sessions. I tend to do one big consultation and then 4 Hypno-Band sessions. Again, it can be flexible, but that's what I have found has been needed. In the initial intake session, the assessment is carried out to ascertain client suitability for the Hypno-Band system. The Hypno-Band system is explained to the client. Our medical history is taken and a client intake form completed and signed by the client. It is important to emphasize to the client that they must be fully committed to making significant lifestyle changes in order to be successful. The Hypno-Band is not a magic bullet that will miraculously make them thin. No weight loss method will be effective unless the client understands that this is not something that we do to them, but rather they must be prepared to change not only the way they eat, but the way they think about eating. In session 1, the client is taken through a questionnaire which enables the therapist, myself, to discover the reasons why the client overeats. From this information, I can move on to begin to empower the client to change their eating behaviors. I take the client through a changing behavior form which highlights erroneous thoughts and behaviors and seeks to correct them. These alternative behaviors are incorporated into the first hypnotherapy sessions. This system, I have to follow a model of scripts. While traditionally I do not do any scripts during any of my hypnotherapy sessions, but in order for me to be licensed with this model, I have to abide by the scripts that they give us. But we modify them and we allow for flexibility to help them feel individualized for each individual. So even though it's a script that I need to follow for session 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's really important that I use everything from the client's feedback and from the client intake session to adjust each script to become useful for each individual person. So having said that, absolutely each time I have a different client, the script has to change because of what their reasons for overeating are, or for their reasons for emotional eating are, etc. So scripts are provided for this purpose and we change them according to each client. The client is provided with a recording to reinforce the work that we've done in session 1. It's recommended that this is used a minimum of 4 times before session 2. And the client is given homework tasks to help highlight the emotional thoughts associated with eating behaviors. Now we move to session 2. The client is given reinforcement to build on the previous session. Incorporated into this session are suggestions that the stomach is becoming smaller already and that the client will already begin to eat less and feel full more quickly. It's at this point that we introduce the client to the Hypno-Band virtual gastric band system. The client is taken through a consultation with a surgeon where the gastric band surgery is described in detail. The client is asked to respond to the types of questions that a surgeon and anaesthetist would ask and is prepared for the next appointment, which is the actual surgery procedure. That's session 3. At this point, the client is advised not to eat immediately prior to the 3rd session. So in session 3, the individual is taken through the gastric band surgery, experiencing all aspects of the procedure from pre-med to recovery. The system utilizes sound effects to enhance the experience for the client, and the sound effects are extremely realistic. It's the sound effects from an actual hospital. You'll get to hear a monitor and even hospital staff speaking in the background. This is a very important part of the system and must be carried out precisely. It's vital that I am confident in the surgical steps undertaken in gastric band surgery, and this helps to ensure success. Once again, scripts are provided for this purpose. On completion, the clients advise that they may experience some tightness in the stomach area and that the gastric band will need to be checked and adjusted in the following session. The script used in session 3 includes advice and information on subsequent behavior and eating habits, just as would happen after real surgery. So the client is provided with a second audio, which reinforces the idea that surgery has taken place and that the stomach is now so much smaller that less food will be required to give the sensation of being full. This brings us to session 4. In session 4, a further reinforcement session is combined with a procedure to adjust the Hypno-Band. This session should take place about 4 to 6 weeks after session 3, but this is flexible. The adjustment is carried out by describing a simple procedure, and the band is either loosened or tightened depending on the client's progress so far. If the client reports that they can eat so little that they become lightheaded, the suggestion is given that the band be loosened slightly and that this will solve the problem. On the other hand, if the client reports that they are still eating too much at one sitting, the band can be tightened. If the client is satisfied that the procedure has worked effectively, then simple reinforcement is carried out. The session is brought to a close with further reinforcement and suggestion for healthy eating and lifestyle. This is combined with further visualization to allow the client to see themselves as they wish to be. The client is advised that no further sessions should be needed and that they should continue to use the reinforcement audios that have been previously provided. The client is given a booster audio to use frequently over the next few months. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I hope now you have an indication of what's covered. We do the intake and then we do 4 Hypno-Band client sessions. Each session focuses on one thing at a time. And so now that you know, and now that you know that it's a model that is followed, I am a licensed Hypno-Band practitioner, licensed by the Hypno-Band Weight Loss System, New Wave Hypnotherapy by John McLean. And I have pretty much almost read to you exactly what John McLean has asked us to do after he has researched and feels success with the model that he has created. As feedback, I feel that this is a very successful system, but it's also not for everybody. If you think that this may be useful for you, then there's nothing wrong with you getting in contact and seeing if you wish to do the very first consultation and get started. It's not recommended that you start and stop. It's recommended that you commit. And so if this was useful for you, I hope it was. It was not to get you in as a client. It was to teach you what I here at Positive Thinking Clinic do for Hypno-Band therapy. Good luck and thank you for listening.